Good afternoon, dear students. So, in the last class, we are discussed about the various importance of communication. Okay. So today, in this session, we are going to discuss about the various different types of communication. Types of communication. So this actually the communication we are classified into two types. One is the formal communication, and the other one is informal communication. Yeah. So communications are broadly classified into two types. One is the formal communications, another one is informal communication. Okay. So today in this session we are going to let us discuss about what is this formal communication. Formal communication. Okay. So this formal communication, formal communication flows through. It is one of the official channels as designed in the organization chart. This communication you are made through the officially. Okay, this is one of the official form of communication channels you are going to design into the organization. Okay, so this communication may take place between a superior to subordinates. It takes place from superior to subordinate. Okay, in the organization it can be a superior subordinate relationship. Here superior can give the orders and instructions and direction to the subordinates are officially into the organization. So this type of communication should be called as the formal communication. Yeah. This formal communication again we are going to further classify into two types. One is the horizontal, another one is a vertical communication. Okay, so this formal communication again we are going to classify it into two types. One is vertical and horizontal. Okay, vertical and horizontal. Again we are going to classify this two types of communications. Okay, this vertical communication. Vertical communication means vertical communication flows vertically in the upwards or the downwards into the organization. Okay, vertical communication here it flows from upward and the downward into the organizations, ups and downs, like a superior to subordinates or the subordinate to superior. So these types of communication should be called as the vertical communication. Yeah, vertical communication means this communication flows upward to downward into the organization. Upward is nothing but here superior to subordinates. Subordinates can given the they are going to communicate with this superior. This is the upward. Downward means here superior can communicate with the subordinates. So this is the downward communication. Okay. So now let's go to discuss about that one by one. Okay. This upward communication. Upward communication is referred to flow of communication from subordinates to superior. Okay. So you already know the various different levels of management, like management levels including top level, middle level and the lower level management. So top level and mid level considers the upward communication. Okay. So here the top level delegates, here the downward. So in the downward nothing but the lower level to middle level to top level, the communication flow like this. Okay, so this is the upward communication. Downward means communication flow like this, top level to middle level to lower level. Clear? So like that the upward communication is refers to communication to subordinates to superior. So this lower level to middle level to top level. These types of communication should be considered as the upward communication. Upward communication flows to up, down to upward. These types of communication is considered as the upward communication. Okay. For example, then application for a grant of leave. Okay. Here some lower level employees, they are going to provide one of the applications to their superior to granting a leave. Okay. Another one is submission of like progress reports, then request of some any other grants to their superiors. These types of communication should be considered as the upward communication. So next one is, another one is downward communication. Okay, downward means communication can flow from superior to subordinates. Okay, so these types of communication should be called as the downward communication. For example, then sending notice to employees. Here some top level delegates, they are sending notice to the employees. Some time of they are going to participate in the meetings and all. Then ordering to the subordinates to complete an assigned duties or assigned work, or any passing the guidelines or framework to the top management to the subordinates. So this is the example for downward communication. Clear? This is the vertical communication. So vertical communication can be classified into two types. One is the upward, another one is the downward communication. Now clear? Both upward and the downward communications. So next type of communication is the horizontal communication. So horizontal or lateral communication. So horizontal or the lateral communication. This is the another one type of formal communication. Okay. So this horizontal lateral communication takes place between the division and others. Division and others peoples who are working into organizations. You already know the divisional structure of organizing. So in the organizations we have made the different departments like purchase department, marketing department, then production department, finance department. Like we are going to divide into different divisions or different segments. They are going to communicate with the others. So these types of communication should be considered as the horizontal or the lateral communication. Okay. Then so you're like for example, like a production manager can communicate with the production, then designs the delivery of the raw materials, then the quality. Okay, like for example, production manager. So it's depend upon the production department. So this production manager, they are going to communicate with the product designs, then supply of raw materials. Okay, then maintaining the quality. So this person can going to communicate with these different persons. So these types of communication should be considered as the horizontal or the lateral communication. Okay? So the pattern through which communication flows within the organization, okay, is generally indicated through, so then communication network is called as one of the horizontal communication. Then different types of communications network is there into the horizontal communication. For in the formal communication pattern. Okay, in the formal communication we have using the different types of communication networks. So let's see what are these different networks are using. Okay. So various different communication networks are using into the horizontal formal communication.
communication.
So one is single